What's going on, world? I go by the name of Tumah,
And it's your boy Senchou.
and we're here with another installment of A Shared
See, episode 2, my brother.
Episode 2. We here.
Yeah, you already know.
Yep.
And just like how we started off the last episode, we wanted to start with an inspirational quote for today.
Motivation.
This quote is by Robert Kiyosaki, author and businessman. And many of you may know he wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Great book.
Yes. So this quote is, your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. And I say that to say this. Any idea, any feeling, any venture you feel like doing, do it today.
Facts.
Start it right now. That idea you've been sitting on, write it down right now. That gym you've been wanting to go to, go right now. If anything, do some push-ups and some sit-ups right now.
Right now.
That book you wanted to write, start that first sentence right now. Because anything in life that you can do, you can start today. Don't wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised to anybody, really. Do it right now.
Right now. Yo, what's the author's name one more time?
Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki. You may have seen him on a bunch of different stuff. He's cool. You got the Mick Jagger, like I know who you're talking about. Yeah. Plus the book Rich Dad Poor Dad is a very, very good book.
Yes.
So I personally want to do a little bit more traveling. I don't travel as much because I'm more of a type of person I need to have like a travel buddy. You know,
Okay.
Not that I'm afraid to travel anywhere. I move militant, but I like to, it's the experience of having somebody to go somewhere with. So that also keeps me from going a lot of places too. Because people be like, yo, I'm down to go, blah, blah. But then at the last moment, they say they ain't going nowhere. So,
damn.
Do you travel a lot?
I used to. This year, I haven't really traveled that much. Past few years, I have. I've been to Jamaica a few times. That's the motherland.
Jamaica.
Well, shout out my family out there and stuff. Aside from that, I've only been to places in the USA. I've been to Maine, Florida, Texas, Cali a few times, Jersey, Maryland, DC, Virginia,
Out of all those places that you go, what's the one constant, or like what's 3 things you have to travel with?
Weed, and weed.
Weed, and weed. Why is it? Because it's hard to get weed other places, or?
Yes, because I don't know anybody anywhere. Not saying that I don't make friends anywhere that I go, because I could go anywhere and meet anybody and make friends. But finding something like that where it's not always readily available, I have to bring it with me so that I can have it from me. Plus, not everywhere's bud is as good as New York or Cali.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
you want some real sour D's or some haze, you gotta go to the New York area.
Yup.
So I understand.
So weed, and weed is my top 3.
Weed, and weed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were gonna say like a Bluetooth speaker or something. Maybe a neck pillow.
Nah, man. That's the essentials.
That's the essentials.
That's
weed,
the essentials.
Yeah, weed.
Weed, and weed is what I need.
Oh, okay. All right, so both. So here's a question.
Yeah, talk to me.
I see it buzzing on the internet, and I think it has to do with these times and the new age and new technology and stuff like that. But this question where spirituality comes in and what life is about.
Mm-hmm.
So some people think life is predetermined, like predestination. Other people think that we have free will. Other people believe that it's a simulation. What are your thoughts on those aspects? Is it predetermined? Is it free will? Or is it a simulation?
I think it's all 3.
All 3.
All 3. Simultaneously. Personally, it was written, certain things in the stars, God had things that was aligned for us. I think that certain moments in our life were supposed to happen, but the outcome of what it will be is up to us, which is the free will part, because we have the choice of what it will be.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I dig what you're saying, but I can't personally agree. No, in my opinion, I don't know if there's really free will. And like you said, it's all 3. If you get a painter, a plumber, an electrician, and you put them in one room, they're all going to see the room differently. So I can get you where you're saying all 3 as far as how you may see those things. But let's start with free will. What is free will? Like, is it not like really? What is free will?
The choice to do anything, the ability to do anything that you want.
All right, the ability to do anything that you want.
In regards to your life, let me add to that the ability to choose to do whatever you want in regards to your life.
Okay, I think that we have choices, but we don't really have free will. Meaning like in free will, it says like you're able to do things outside of your predetermined disposition, your biological nature, like your DNA, your circumstances, like all those things that have nothing to do with it. So it pretty much just saying like something just can happen randomly, and that's free will. I don't believe we got free will. I think every decision that you make, everything that you wear, everything that you choose to do is predetermined. Like you think about doing it first and then do it in comparison to just something sporadically just happening. Like I don't know what the free will is and all that. I'm not really too sure about that. Like what's not predetermined in life? I mean, I guess that's a theoretical question too, so there's no real answer to that.
I didn't know if I was gonna wake up in the morning and have coffee or eat breakfast.
Those are your choices.
But you're saying what's not predetermined. I
Right.
don't know if I was gonna do that, so it's not predetermined.
You don't know if you was even going to wake up, right? So it was already written if you were going to wake up or not, without your choice in the matter, right?
So whose choice was it?
No, there it goes with
It's
the
not my
idea.
choice.
So
If you
there we
say
go
it
with the
isn't.
idea of the simulation. Like, if somebody, if it's predetermined, who's ordering it? And my answer to that is we are. It was written, but we're the writers as well.
So then that's free will.
No, that's not free will.
That is free will. Because if we're the writers, that's free will.
No, you in this physical shell. I mean, you right now isn't the writer that I'm talking about. I'm talking about your spirit. Your soul is the writer. That soul that and that spirit that's been here before your physical body has been here, and it will be here after your physical body is gone. So I don't want to be too lost in translation. Like I don't. When I say you, I mean you, the person Senchou. But I'm talking about not Senchou the person, but Senchou's soul that's gonna traverse when Senchou the person dies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about your arm, leg, and your physical features. I'm talking
Okay.
about the you. When you start thinking, the voice that you hear, is it your voice?
Is it your voice or God's voice? Whose voice is that?
Well, I'm talking to that. That's the writer of it. Because that entity is the one who knew what you were gonna do before you decide to do it.
That's
Even
just
try to
gave you the
talk you.
idea.
Yeah, you gave you the idea, try to talk you out of it, try to talk you into it, the whole play. But that's not free will. You because you decide to wear these.
A little tangent. I know. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Tangent.
Did you know that majority of the population does not have inner thought?
What do you mean?
So we were just talking about that voice in our head, right?
Right.
If I'm correct, about 50 to 65% of the population does not have that inner voice in their head.
One, I got to see where we get these numbers from. Two, what are you talking about? Like
We
what
just talked about that there was a voice.
like when you think.
Yeah, the inner thought.
Yeah. So you say you don't have thoughts because all thoughts are inner thoughts before they become.
Apparently, there's half of the population that has no inner thought.
So you said people don't think what a like what? I'm still blown about. But so people don't think with a voice in their head.
It's estimated 30 to 50% of the population don't experience inner monologue or have an inner voice. instead processing information and thinking abstractly are using visual imagery. So they don't think, they just see images.
That's crazy. Like, I don't even know how to really fathom that. Oh,
I
so
know, it's insane. Like, so when something happens to
so
you,
when
how
you're
do you
hungry, yeah.
process that information?
So when you hungry, you just be like, you don't say in your head, "Damn,
I'm
I'm hungry.
hungry.
What I
Your
want to eat."
stomach just grumbles, and you're like, in your head, you're picturing your stomach grumbling.
That's weird.
Yo,
I would say that's weird. I don't mean to say that's weird for the population that actually operates like that. That's just foreign to me, so I never heard that. Like sometimes, like I asked one of my frat brothers because he speaks a different language, so I asked him, "In what language do you think in?" So he had to think about it.
he thinks in the language he speaks in.
Right. Well, when you speak a different language, your concept of things are different, and you may only talk about certain things in that language,
Yes,
which will make you think about certain things in
in
that
that
language.
language.
And then there's a whole culture that comes with thought,
Yes.
which is crazy to you said.
Look, you know what's crazy? The letter J didn't exist until a couple hundred years ago. So what
Right.
the? How were they thinking of saying certain words if the letter J didn't exist?
The what is it called when they push the clock up an hour and the clock back?
Oh, daylight savings.
Yeah, stupid.
I thought they were abolishing that shit.
They should have. I mean, and I think something's wrong with my thought pattern because I think if they actually stop it for some reason, I think in 10 years it's going to be dark outside. But I know it doesn't really work like that. Like it's the time is just going to be time. But we adopted that during I think a civil war or some war for some reason, and then there was a reason why they were supposed to stop it, but then they didn't stop it. I don't know. But there's a lot of things that we it don't make sense. What's some things that we hated or we didn't use or didn't like, but now we're in love with in this culture? And when I say this culture, I mean American culture.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at daylight savings.
Yeah, look, let's start there with the daylight savings. If anybody know what daylight savings is for, please write it down there because I don't.
Write in the comments. But
Yeah,
we're looking it up. But come on, write it in the
yeah.
comments.
We'll play the waiting music real quick. Right.
Okay. Daylight savings policy began in Germany on May 1st, 1916, in the hopes that it would save energy during World War One.
World War I. Okay. In hopes that it will save energy.
Save energy. Though Germans were first to mess with their clocks, they likely got the idea from Britain and from someone whose ideas about daylight savings had little to do with conserving fuel.
Right. I don't see how pushing the clock hour back or hour forward can save some energy. You'll probably just get some more work time out of them. Hey, you ain't on for another hour.
And guess what? You ain't getting paid either.
Word. Matter of fact, and then how does daylight savings work? Like
Daylight slaving.
how does daylight savings work during slavery time? Do they get
Still in the fields, boy.
I'm
You're
asking it.
in the
That's not
field.
funny.
It's not funny. It's
That's
not.
funny.
It's not.
That's not funny.
It's not.
All right. So
But it was funny in that moment.
it was
Not funny, but it was funny in that.
comical, but that's not
That's not funny.
So what's some things that we like at a time didn't like, but now our country is like head over heels for?
The internet.
The internet.
They hated the internet.
I remember the internet was something that nobody really wanted to deal with.
Feared. But
Yeah.
now we have it all on our phones.
Yeah, we're watching this because of the internet.
You're watching this on the internet right now.
Right. That's very true. What else?
Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency.
Came out like what, 15 years ago. Everybody said it should be hated. Bitcoin scam. Black market. Don't deal with it. Only scammers deal with it. Guess what? Many countries adopted it. Banks adopted it. Corporations adopted it. We can invest into it for our financial future. Crypto's very widespread.
Right. Now it leads to this whole AI thing and how that's the new wave of everything. Like people don't really, a lot of people are still terrified of AI because they think of the Terminator and they think of the Matrix and all these different things. But AI is going to be big in the future. It is big right now.
Very big right now. Oh, excuse me.
All right, let me ask that question again. So AI is huge right now, and
Huge
it's
right
going to
now.
be big in the future when it comes to the
Yes.
workforce, when it comes to our livelihoods, and people are terrified of it right now.
Very. And that just goes to show that in about 10 to 15 years is going to be one of the most accepted things in the world. Wow. Um,
Okay,
AI,
AI,
Deep Seek, Chat GPT, all of it, we're seeing it right now.
right? I seen
The
something.
future of the workforce.
I seen something with Kanye West where he was, I guess, a rapper, rapped a verse, and then he had his engineer, hey, put that Kanye West on it, and then the rapper's voice sounded like Kanye West.
New era of ghostwriting.
The new era ghostwriting.
New era of ghostwriting. Because all they have to do is put the rapper's voice on
Yeah,
it.
all I gotta do is rap it for you, and that's it.
Go throw Drake's voice on it, for
Right.
example.
I'm gonna get the writing credits anyway. Wow. See, Kanye
Mm. Yo, he's always been ahead of his time.
always been ahead of his
Always
time.
been
We're
ahead of
gonna
his
leave it
time.
right there. Always been ahead of his time. All right, but the future of the workforce.
Yeah, no, I brought
Um,
that up. Huge. That's a major thing that I think all of us, even the people who are listening right now, should pay attention to. Because as we can see, we're seeing the rise of robots. Even though they've been in the workforce in a smaller capacity, we're seeing humanoid robots and physical robots enter the workforce. I did read somewhere that by 2050, about 82 million jobs are going to be replaced by AI and robot workforces. And if you think about it, there's about 350 million people in the US. So if you round that out, that's about a third of the country
something like
is
that.
going to be out of a job.
Right.
That's insane to think about. And that's within our lifetime. That's
Right.
literally about 25 years from now.
And I'm not sure if they're going to be out of jobs, but I know a lot of these old jobs or older fashioned jobs where a lot of this repetitive machinery work is going to be done by AI
Hey,
and
think about it like
computers.
this. A robot doesn't get tired.
No,
A robot doesn't go to sleep.
no lunch break.
No lunch break. You don't have to pay them. They don't get sick. And guess what? The number one thing is they don't complain.
None.
Not at all. So you have to think from business standpoint, a lot of corporations, companies, entities are going to start implementing robots into the workforce. If I could impart one piece of advice, I would say right now, learn a skill, learn a trade, learn something that you're really good at, and make yourself valuable.
Let me add on to that. Don't just learn something that you're good at. Start being a better person because nobody wants to work next to somebody who's an asshole when there's a robot that could take your job. So I would say don't just get one trade, get 30 trades, get a bunch of certificates, a gang of certifications, as and be as interpersonal as possible because they're gonna need people who are really people friendly and they can deal with the actual personal skills that it's gonna take to keep people human and keep our our society moving humanely where we're all not looked at like numbers and just robots. It would be nice to see somebody say hi and smile at you. So we still need people to
Yes.
run things, but
Yes.
that old idea of having a job to pay for your house and your car and picket fence, that was a way in the 60s, 50s, 60s. Now you have to have two, three jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And to
Deep
really maintain, you got to have seven, eight jobs.
bars.
Now you're not going to have 20, you're not going to be able to get 20 jobs because you're not going to have enough time. So you need to understand the new technology and learn new ways to make multiple streams of income using these new platforms because that's just all there is. It's over. Like there was a time where we people didn't drive cars. everybody rode horses and only rich people drove cars.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
And vice versa. Everybody walked and only rich people rode horses.
right. And now only the rich people got horses. Everybody got a car.
But the rich people got horses.
Right.
They got cars. They got yachts.
Now think about we seen on TV these flying cars, the Jetsons, the Star Trek. That was when we got the first bloop bloops. And then the camera phones and all that. That's that first.
Yeah.
And now it's reality. On top of that, we've seen flying cars in the Jetsons, and they're making flying cars. It's just not in mass production.
They have jetpacks now.
Yeah. Electric cars. That's it. Everything's gonna go there. In fact, the whole country is gonna go on a more eco-friendly uh idea because or a way of thinking because it's needed. We don't need to use these oils and these fossil fuels and burn away. That we need to use the energy that we got naturally around us, and that's where the workforce will be at. So be ahead of the curve and start investing in yourself in these avenues now. Don't wait till tomorrow, like the inspirational quote said.
Don't wait
Get
till
to it.
tomorrow what you could do today.
Right, get to it. Learn something. Do a push up.
Yo, drop and give me 20. Write me a 5-line haiku.
There,
If you don't know what a haiku is, look it up.
bars.
Bars.
5-line haiku. Should we get into some emotional intelligence? Because people were asking about that.
Yeah, people in the comments were asking about the emotional intelligence, and I just wanted to say, I'm not perfect. No one in life is perfect, and we all still working on it.
Facts.
But the only difference is that if you enter a situation where you know you're emotionally heightened, is that you have the conscious decision to not react how you did the last time in a situation. You can say to yourself, you know what? I'm not feeling well. Let me take a second. Let me breathe, calm myself down and really get clarity instead of reacting in a negative way or an outlandish way.
Right. I've heard life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. So how you react to it. So I know me personally when I go through stressful situations or I have triggers, a lot of times I get quiet or I not shut down, but I just get in my head. Like I start thinking and I think because you don't really want to hear what I'm thinking about or I could say or I want to say. So to try to humble myself or try to at least keep from blowing up, I just be quiet. But
I'm the same way.
In reality, that's not the best way to really let my feelings be processed and deal with things because ultimately you'll be sitting next to somebody and you'll be like this trying to hold it in. They're like, "You all right?" Well, yeah, I'm good. Nah,
Put your whole energy.
nah, you're not. Like
not good.
you do, you
Like,
do.
yo, you
like,
obviously not
like,
good.
nah,
right
I'm
now.
all right. I'm good. Nah.
But on the other hand, it's because they don't, and I'll say in those instances, I'll speak for myself. In an instance like that, I don't want what I say to be taken the wrong way because sometimes when you say things out of anger or emotion, you truly don't mean it.
Right.
So you don't want to come off negatively or say something that could truly impact the person in the wrong way. So yes, we're going to wallow in it for a little bit because we don't know how to get it out, but we also don't want to offend you based on what you think is some shit that I could possibly hate you for, and I really don't hate you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just angry in the moment.
Right. So it's important to have that level of emotional intelligence, knowing your triggers, like we said before, and but also working consciously to lighten those triggers and deal with and process those emotions properly, not just shutting down, because ultimately that's like somebody who's dealing with a bunch of bullshit and holds it in. One day you're gonna explode. Pause. You're gonna go crazy just because of you didn't deal with things on a smaller level. You can't let shit build up and build up and then it breaks down at the wrong time and you may black out on somebody and it had nothing to do with nothing, but they were just right there at the right time. So
right there at the wrong time.
Right there at the wrong time. So
Emotional intelligence. It's an everyday battle, but that's the point of maturity. That's the point of growth, that you're able to look back and realize that you need to tune up a little bit. Again, no one's perfect. Whatever you believe in. They weren't perfect, but they strive for perfection. They gave us examples of what we can believe to be perfection, and that's what we can strive for. Emotional intelligence.
What else we got? What else we got?
I think that might be it.
That should be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another episode of A Shared Seat. I'm Tumah.
It's your boy Senchou.
Have a great day, great night. See ya.
Peace.
Do them push-ups.
Push ups. Write that shit down.